Welcome back to Brutal DMing 101. Today we are talking about exploiting composition. Now you may be thinking to yourself, why would a dungeon master go out of their way to exploit the composition of the party? And the reason behind that is as adventurers get better at adventuring, they are going to be followed by rumors, scouts, divination magic, and all kinds of information that will be gathered about the party. As such, we can assume that if a group has time to prepare for an encounter with the party, say a faction or mafia or BBEG, they'll take that time, consider their options, and be prepared specifically for your party. Now let's take the example of not having a healer in your party. If you don't have a healer and the enemy group knows that, then they may decide to go after each character individually. A group of 8 different goblins attacking one creature may be able to down them in a single turn, where if they were to spread out and attack randomly, that would not be the case. On the other hand, if you do have a healer and it's a consistent thing where in the middle of the battle, the healer casts healing spells, then you might find that enemies target that player because of the effect they have on the party. As another example, if the party doesn't have any ranged attack options, then the enemies could set up ranged attacks. A few enemies set up at a long enough distance with clear eyesight can be deadly to a party that can't reach them. On the other hand, if the party casts AoE spells all the time, then the enemies may decide to go danger close to try and get really up and personal with the spellcasters. In that case, Fireball may not be effective because you might hit all your friends. But of course, those kinds of challenges may make the party think. At a minimum, you should understand that organized groups of combatants train together. They would have a preferred strategy that they like to wheel out. And we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but I want you to imagine how a group of enemies may decide to go into combat, because they won't do so without a plan, especially if they know the characters are coming.